Hello students, I hope you all are safe at home. I am Miss Mamta Verma, your social science teacher. So today I will explain you lesson number 1, two big states. India was ruled by Gupta dynasty from approximately 320 AD to 550 AD. The Gupta Empire was spread in most of the Indian subcontinent. This period is called the Golden Age of India. However, at the end of 6th century, when the Gupta Empire collapsed, India was again ruled by numerous regional kingdoms. So, in this chapter, we will talk about two such regional kingdoms, one belonging to North India and the other to South India. So, first state Kanauj, Harshvardhan, period 606 to 647 CE. King Harshvardhan was born in 606 CE after the death of his father Prabhakavardhan. Harshvardhan's elder brother Rajivardhan ascended the throne of Thaneshwar. However, Rajivardhan was killed by the king of God Shashank. Their sister Rajashri was imprisoned by the king of Malwa Devgupt. Under these circumstances, as advised by the leader of the kingdom, Harshvardhan shouldered the responsibility of Thaneshwar, presently we know as Punjab, Haryana. Immediately after ascending the throne, he decided to free his imprisoned sister Rajeshri. In the meanwhile, she had escaped from the clutches of Devgupt and ran away into the Vindhya forest. He went in search of his sister, and with the help of the people living in the forest and the Buddhist hermit Divakar Mitra, he stopped her from committing sati. Since Rajeshri's kingdom Kanauj, Uttar Pradesh, was without any king at that time, Harshvardhan became its ruler. Later, he defeated Devgupt, the king of Malwa. As part of his preparation to launch an attack on Shashank, the god king, he formed an alliance with the king of Kamrup, Assam, Bhaskar Varman. With the help of a large army, he defeated the god king and won over a major part of his kingdom. He also conquered Malwa and Saurashtra, but was unsuccessful in defeating Pulkeshi II, king of the Cholukya dynasty of South India. After 7 successive victorious years, Thaneshwar emerged as a large kingdom in the North India. Now the next topic is of Harshvardhan's reign and administration. Harshvardhan personally supervised the administration of his state by traveling extensively to different parts of his empire. He divided his daily routine into 3 parts. The first was the administrative purpose, while the other 2 parts were devoted to public welfare and religious activities. He was so diligent in carrying out his administrative responsibility that at times he even forgot to have his meal. Now children, on page number 1, picture number 1.2, you can see the handwriting of Harshvardhan. Now, things to know. To help him in the administration, Harshvardhan had commander-in-chief of the army, Pratihara, that is Dwarpal, Sandhi Vigrahaka, that is foreign minister, Rajdut, ambassador, Parrajya Mantri, that is chief justice, and Akshar Patalika, that is registrar. Now, imprints left by Harshvardhan. Harsh built many rest houses, wells, step wells, lakes, mats, and viharas, and also prohibited animal slaughter. Every year, he organized a Buddhist religious meet, and every 5 years, he would organize a huge religious congregation at Prayag. There he would donate generously till his entire treasury was emptied and would even give away the ornaments he would be wearing at the time. The great Sanskrit poet and writer Banbhat adorned his court. His famous works Harshcharit and Kadambari are famous even today. We come to know about many important aspects of King Harshvardhan's reign from Harshcharita. King Harsh himself was a writer and wrote 3 plays Naganand, Ratnavali, and Priyadarshika. Student, on page number 2, 1.3 picture, Harshvardhan's empire is shown. So please go through it. Rules of Harshvardhan. So you can see this picture. Now student, I will explain you the further topic in my next video. Thank you.